no future, pay no rent, all the money's gone, nowhere to go. Well, any job has got the sack, Monday morning, turn his back, yellow, loaded snow, nowhere to go. But oh, that magic feeling, nowhere to go. Oh, that magic feeling, nowhere to go, nowhere to go. Get in the limousine. Soon we'll be away from here. Step on the gas and wipe that tear away. What sweet dream came true today? Came true today. Came true today. Came true today. He's a real nowhere man, sitting in his nowhere land, making all his nowhere plans for nobody. Doesn't have a point of view, knows not where he's going to. Isn't he a bit like you and me? Nowhere man, please listen. You don't know what you're missing. Nowhere man, the world is at your command. He's as blind as he can be, just sees what he wants to see. Nowhere man, can you see me at all? Nowhere man, don't worry, take your time, don't hurry, leave it all to somebody else lends you a hand. Doesn't have a point of view, knows not where he's going to. Isn't he a bit like you and me? Nowhere man, please listen. You don't know what you're missing. Nowhere man, the world is at your command. He's a real nowhere man, sitting in his nowhere land, making all his nowhere plans for nobody. Making all his nowhere plans for nobody. Making all his nowhere plans for nobody.
I can.
It's getting better all the time. I I used to get mad at my school. The teachers that taught me weren't cool. You're holding me down, turning me around, filling me up with the rules. I have to admit it's getting better. It's getting better all the time. I have to admit it's getting better. It's getting better since you've been mine. You used to be angry young man, you hiding your head in the sand. You gave me the word I finally heard. I'm doing the best that I can. I've got to admit it's getting better, a little better all the time. I have to admit it's getting better, a little better since you've been mine. Getting so much better all the time. It's getting better all the time. Better, better, better. It's getting better all the time. Better, better, better. I used to be cruel to my woman. I beat her and kept her apart from the things that she loved. Man, I was mean, but I'm changing my scene, and I'm doing the best that I can. I have to admit it's getting better, a little better all the time. Yes, I admit it's getting better. It's getting better since you've been mine. Getting so much better all the time. It's getting better all the time. Better, better, better. It's getting better all the time. Better, better, better. Getting so much better all the time. Say the word and you'll be free. Say the word and be like me. Say the word I'm thinking of. Have you heard the word is love? It's so fine, it's sunshine. It's the word love. In the beginning I misunderstood, but now I got it. The word is good. Spread the word and you'll be free. Spread the word and be like me. Spread the word I'm thinking of. Have you heard the word is love? It's so fine, it's sunshine. It's the word love. Well, everywhere I go I hear it said, in the good and the bad books that I have read. Spread the word and you'll be free. Say the word and be like me. Say the word
Give them some more love. That was wonderful. Thank you, thank you. This Wednesday service is so, it's a tradition, and it's Reverend Judy Chapman's tradition here in this center. She's one of the assistant ministers here, and I'm going to honor how they start always on Wednesday. She starts with a chant, and then an opening affirmative prayer, and then a song. Well, it also happens to be the day of Reverend Judy's birth, so we will be singing 2 songs at that place while she's still on the platform. And I just want to acknowledge that ministers are always practitioners first, and the practitioners of Centers for Spiritual Living are here to work in consciousness to make a world a place that works for everyone. Back over to the FAD 3, Friedman, Allen, and Dale, for the chant.
The lyrics will
on
be
the
on the
screen.
screen. Surrender to the presence. Set your mind free. Let love flow. Surrender to the presence. Set your mind free. Let love flow. Surrender to the presence. Set your mind free. Let love flow. Surrender to the presence. Set your mind free. Let love flow. Surrender to the presence. Set your mind free. Let love flow. Surrender to the presence. Set your mind free. Let love flow.
And as we join together in this cosmic stream of pure loving God consciousness, we do surrender to the love, to the joy, and to the presence of God. For we know that there is only one awesome magnificence, one infinite love, one creative intelligence. And this one, this energy, this vitality, this beauty is everywhere present at all times. Therefore, it lives and moves and has its expression through each one of us. Yes, we are the sacred activity of the beloved, and we are so blessed. So tonight I affirm and I decree that we are what we want to show up in the world. We are the love that was taught to us by the master teacher, Jesus. We are the compassion of the Buddha. and we are the peace of Gandhi. So tonight unfolds in perfect divine right order, and I know that each and every person is here on purpose. And we are alive, awake, and aware of this presence that lives and moves within us. And so knowing that everything is God and it's all perfect, I simply just release and put these words into divine mind, knowing that it's already been created for us. And so I fill my heart with thanksgiving and with love as I anchor this affirmative prayer in confidence, joy, and in peace. So please say with me, and so it is.
Wait, don't leave, Judy.
Come here.
Oh, okay.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, dear Judy. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you so much.
We love you.
68 and doing great.
Okay. Now we're all going to sing together, so if you'd like to stand, we're doing an Allendale song. You'll pick up on it. It's really simple. It's called I Am Enough. All right, here we go.
If ever I fly, God knows why. The mind that knows all, not let me fall. When I feel blind, God's light shines through you and me as harmony.
I am enough. I'm made of God's stuff. I go with the flow, and God lets me know that the balance of life is the dance of love.
Whenever I fail, God fills my sails. And when I succeed, it's not only me, it's the limitless light that makes it all right. Through you and me as harmony.
I am enough. I'm made of God's stuff. I go with the flow, and God lets me know that the balance of life is the dance of love. Do that again. I am enough. I'm made of God's stuff. I go with the flow, and God lets me know that the balance of life is the dance of love. I am enough.
Woo! Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. I'm Heather Clark. I'm the Senior Minister, Spiritual Director here, and we have many guests here. For those of you who are from our center, this isn't the way it normally looks Wednesday night or Sunday morning. This altar was created by the ministers in this ministers' gathering that we're in the middle of, and each one of us has an object on that altar that's being blessed by our consciousness, and we will take those objects home with us at the end of our time together. So welcome to the ministers who came back from their field trip to the Founders Church. It's wonderful to have you all, and very, very grateful that you chose to be here with us this year. So the second annual Ministers Gathering first annual one was in Napa, and the second annual one here in San Clemente. So welcome to all of you, whether you're a friend of a minister, a practitioner, or just someone who wandered in from the street because the music sounded so good. Really happy you chose to be here. We've got a wonderful evening planned, and the theme of tonight is who we are in the world as ministers, as practitioners, as centers for spiritual living. And so I'm going to invite from the Ministers' Council, Reverend Michelle Wadley and Reverend Carol Huntley to come forward. They have something to share with you.
Thank you. This practice that we're about to practice is a peace practice, and it was inspired from Gandhi's quote, to be the change that you want to see in the world. And I've actually been using this practice since we used to have a peace council many, many years ago in our organization. So I'm going to repeat 4 statements. Yes, that was inspired by Reverend Michael Gertie, so I thank you. And so I ask you to repeat after me each statement as Reverend Patty McCardo lights each light. But before you do, please, if you will, close your eyes and touch that place within where you know peace is generated. For we know that peace is not just quiet, but it's the calm of that still point, that precious stillness of the I am. Please repeat after me. I am the peace that I want to see.
I am the peace that I want to see.
I know this peace for my family.
I know this peace for my family.
I know this peace for my community.
I know this peace for my community.
Our community knows this peace for the world.
Our community knows this peace for the world.
Now please enjoy Reverend Carol Huntley.
So in just keeping your eyes closed, I'm going to share with all of us a meditation to deepen this experience and this gift of peace. I ask you to put your feet on the floor and imagine that your feet are growing tendrils down into the earth, and roots grow down from your hips and your elbows as well, making a great trunk into the earth and gathering the earth energy that is peaceful and creative and supportive and everlasting, never ending, always giving. Imagine this energy as golden light that moves up those tendrils that are the roots of your feet and your hips and moves into your body and finds its way to your heart. And now imagine, if you would, that the crown of your head opens and great billowing leaves just grow out of the top of your head, wonderful branches and silvery leaves that face the heavens, drawing down the peaceful, inspirational, light-filled energy of the heavens in the form of silver iridescent light. That light flows down into the crown of your head, circling around your face and shoulders, and finding its way to your heart. The golden energy of the earth, the silver iridescent energy of the heavens, meeting in the divine heart within each one of us, placing your own hands now on your heart, feeling that place that generates all of the peace that could ever be needed in this world and any other, filling us, circling around in our hearts with the everlasting energy of the earth and the heavens, and we are the bridge. Putting your hands down now on your lap, palms up, with your eyes still closed, imagine that gold and silver light is pulsing in your hands. And with William Blake we say, my fingers emit sparks of fire in expectation of my future labors. May all of our labors be for peace. Blessed be.
So gently coming back. We have another number by it says Reverend Karen. No. Well, I was supposed to say that the New Thought musicians provide music that opens the heart so that the message can penetrate deep into the soul. So I'll say that. And it certainly did before the service. It did for the opening song, even Happy Birthday. I'm going to, I have a great joy of introducing three very favorite men. And I'm going to start with what the Ministers' Council wants me to say is, we, the ministers of the Centers for Spiritual Living, model a variety of leadership styles, from servant leadership to shared leadership, as we seek to be examples of cooperation and collaboration. Our speaker is the president of Centers for Spiritual Living. He lives and works in Asheville, North Carolina. I'm never sure. One of the Carolinas, North Carolina. And he travels to Golden, Colorado at least once a month to do work there as the president of our organization. It is my great joy to welcome to the platform the Reverend Dr. John Waterhouse.
No, thank you. What an honor to be back in this house. And what a delight it has been this week to be with my colleagues, so many that I admire and respect and hold up and see you for the great work that you do in your communities all over this continent. And we know that there are others that couldn't make it this far to be with us, but they're doing their work too all over this planet. And it's just such an honor. So I've been asked to speak on this idea of leadership and to present some thoughts around that. And I have some thoughts. I don't know that I have the right thoughts, but I have some thoughts. When I was a young adult and learning to find my way, I moved to the city of Houston, Texas, and remember being in a seminar where someone spoke on leadership, and their simplistic answer to what is leadership stuck with me. And they did it with a little story, and the story is that there are teams of people working to create a pathway through a great forest. And they're working in teams, and they have those that are taking down trees and creating the pathway, and everybody has their job and they're doing it. And this work is important and vital to it, but that there's one person that climbs up in the tallest tree in the forest and says, "We're going this way." And I thought, wow, that's profound. And then I began to wonder, why was that the person that went up the tree? What made them qualified to do that? What was it they had accomplished that had all these other people who were the managers and the workers and the experts on creating this pathway? Why did this one person have it that was their job to say, we're going this way? They must have done something. They must have created some understanding that allowed everyone to go, okay. Well, one thing that I've looked at, looking at that model and that idea of what leadership is, I realized something really important. There's one thing that leader and every leader must have to be the leader. They must have followers. Who are they leading if they don't have followers? And there are many of us that would say, well, I don't want to climb the tree. I don't want to be the one that has to do that kind of work. I'll just be a follower. But I want you people that think that way to realize that there's the times in your life when you need to be the leader. There's times in your life when you must step and say, this is what we're going to do. It comes to all of us. Of course, we are a movement of leaders. A lot of them in the room tonight. And I'm, again, honored to have so many connections with so many incredible leaders. Leaders who are truly making a difference in the world. And what I have learned about this thing of being a spiritual leader, being a minister in our movement, is that many of us are very good at speaking. We are eloquent. We are gifted in coming and using words to create images and visions and ideas, and that's all wonderful. And a lot of that is that thing of, we're going this way. We don't underestimate the value of that. But that's not the most important thing of being the leader. The most important thing of being a leader, the most important thing of being a leader is by living the way that you are asking others to live. We must set an example as leaders. We must, because if we speak a great game but don't follow it up with our actions, then we haven't led. And if you question that, how many people here are parents? So how often do your children listen to your words? What they're paying attention to is your actions. And if your words don't match your actions, they'll set you away for a while. Let you work on that. Same is true in any spiritual community, any of our communities. The people that come into the room that are considered the followers, the ones that set up the refreshments, turn the coffee on, the ones that come and do the announcements and all the other tasks of being in spiritual community, all those tasks, they're listening to the minister. They're listening to the leader. But more importantly, they're watching what that leader does. And if what the leader does and what the leader says don't match, if there's a lack of integrity in that, then there's an invalidation of that ability to lead. This is who we are. We are living the principles that we teach. If you say, oh, I don't really want to be a leader, you come to this place and we tell you you're God. Being a leader is a whole lot easier. So don't worry about it. There are times when we all must step up and do that. The principles that we teach, the principles that we live by as students of the science of mind and spirit require us to lead at times, to be the one that says, let's go this way. And if you have done the work, if you have stood clear in who you are, if you've been able to take that responsibility and move through the challenges that have come before and risen above them, then it's your turn to lead. Don't be afraid to do that. Be open to that possibility. Be open to that gift, that opportunity. It always comes at just the right moment. And then be ready at any time to return to being the follower, because leaders require followers. And that's a good thing, so that we can play whatever part of this dance that we need to do our work in a good way. This idea of being a leader builds within us. They say there are natural leaders. I'm sure that's probably true, but I know that all of us must move through the fire. We have to be willing to temper ourselves through life, to be the people that people will follow. So I thank you as ministers. I thank you as practitioners. I thank you as members of this community and any community that is anyone who is willing to stand up and be called leader. Thank you for that. It isn't easy. It isn't always welcome, but it's always necessary because somebody's got to lead. Somebody's going to lead. And when you're doing your work, when you're called upon to do that, only good will come to you. And only good will come to those who follow you. Yes, you will fall down. You will scrape your knees. You will wish it had been different. But you will get up and you will go again. And you will go again and you will go again. Because life beckons us forward. And the only way that we move forward is to be led into something greater. We've had this opportunity of being a new organization, 2.5 years old. Isn't it lovely that we have a 100-year tradition and we're 2.5 years old? Yet that's what we do, and that's where we are, so we do it. And we get up each day as the leadership of this organization and the leaders of all of our member communities to be examples of how to live in this teaching. How to open our hearts, how to remember always to love those who support us and to support those that love us, and to continue to allow that circle to grow. I think the most important thing that Dr. Holmes ever said on the matter of leadership was his final sermon by the sea. It's the idea that we must focus on something that works and let go of the stuff that doesn't. To be against nothing, it takes a lot of focus. It doesn't come easy. But when we are focused 100% completely on the direction that we are called to go, and to bring those beloveds with us that are trusting us to know that, we will find our way. And we will create a new world, a new way of being. We will create a world that works for everyone, because that is our nature. That is who we are. That is what we bring to the world. And we bring it through love. Thank you. Thank you for having the courage to do this work. Thank you for being willing to do whatever it takes to bring the world together in love and peace and all those things that we call God. The work we do is good, and we are doing it well together. God bless you. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Our next speaker is someone that was a colleague of mine. And I don't know if you're going to, I'm going to take enough time if you're going to switch mics. So, yes. So what I'd like you to know is that the next speaker works in home office in Golden, Colorado. He's the manager of professional education. So that means practitioner education and ministerial education. He was a minister in Pittsburgh for, I believe, 10 years, but I could be wrong about that. I know 10 years. I was on his interview committee that said, we like this guy. He's going to do well as manager here. And the Ministers' Council wanted me to talk about education a little bit more than that, so now that I can see that he's ready, we, the ministers of Centers for Spiritual Living, provide the most inspiring and empowering metaphysical education available today to lift, empower, and inspire our students to their most independent and potent selves. Speaking on education, please make welcome Reverend Bob Dean.
Thank you. Well, it's nice to get the standing ovation first. Thank you so much. Sure, at the end. We'll save it for there. I've undressed and dressed in a lot of places, but I've never done it on the front row of a church before. So that was kind of wonderful. I'm doing? What am I doing? Making love to every one of you. Someone said connecting. Same idea. See, I can stand up here and make love to each and every one of you because love is not something I have to reach out and get from anywhere. Love is something that starts in here. It is the nature of who I am. It's the nature of who you are. It's the nature of who everyone is. So that making love is something we start on the inside and do, and we just have the freedom to do it and be it and love it. Yeah, it starts here. What does that have to do with education? I'm supposed to be talking about where we are in the world of education. Well, I'm offering you an illustration because here's what I've come to believe. I've come to believe that a lot of what Dr. Ernest Holmes said was true. Maybe most of it. You know, and one of the things he taught us and said, and it's been said by many other teachers as well, is that we are already perfect, whole, and complete. That we have within us everything we've ever needed and would ever need to come forth and create the lives of our dreams and to bring great goodness to the world. Love, peace, joy, freedom, all of those things are already right here inside of us and in everyone else. The guy asleep on the street today when we came back on the train is a perfect, whole, and complete spiritual being. The people throwing bombs. Perfect, whole, and complete spiritual beings. Deep down on that level of essence, on that level of truth. You know, we say that our teaching, and I believe it, is a healing teaching ministry. It is a movement that's all about teaching and healing. And education and teaching is a core part of what we do. It's at the center of it all. Which I think is awesome. And we also say, based on what Emma Curtis Hopkins once said, that when people come to us for healing, when people come to us to learn, when people come to us to increase and improve their lives, they aren't broken, missing parts of people who come to be fixed or healed or put back together. They are perfect, whole, complete, beautiful spiritual beings simply coming to be recognized. And our job is to see past all the other stuff and to recognize what's really there. What's underneath and behind it, in ourselves and in one another. You know, one of the definitions of the word education, based on the old Latin version of it, is to bring forth, to draw out, to reveal, if you please. You see, where we are moving in science of mind education and in education of spiritual principles that are universal and that Holmes brought together in some beautiful ways, where we're going with this is we're starting to realize that education is not about tearing people's heads open and pouring something new in. It's not about putting in what's missing. It's about finding the tools and the ways in which to draw out what's already there. If we are truly perfect, whole, and complete divine spiritual beings having this wonderful experience of having bodies and being in time and space and undressing on front rows of churches and all that kind of stuff, then we are beings who already know at some level within us everything we need to know. Problem is we don't know that we know. You know? We make fun of that poor little fish. You've all heard the fish story, right? We're like the little fish who left home and swam the 7 seas looking for water. Right? We pick on that little fish all the time telling this story. But I was thinking today as I'm walking down the very busy streets in L.A., I wonder how many people crowded on that train and crowded in those streets, bumping into each other, pushing each other aside at times. I wonder how many of them are hungry for love, and how many of them are hungry for a relationship, and how many of them know that that person they just bumped into could be the object of their love, just as you have been for me tonight. education in this system and the way we are moving into doing it is all about helping people awaken to that reality. We talk about awakening humanity to its spiritual magnificence, creating a world that works for everyone. I'd like to say a world that works a whole lot better for everyone according to their highest and best ideas of who they truly are. You can't put all that on a slogan, you know? The world works perfectly right now for everyone according to what they believe and know about themselves. Because the weird part, and you know this, is that we're creating our world according to what we believe. Not according to who we truly are and what we're really about, but what we think we are. You know? So we're in a messy place. Our education program is geared to and aimed at awakening people to the truth of who they are. So our classes are moving towards reverse classrooms. You know what that is? It means you do your homework at home and then you come in and talk about it. They're doing it in universities. It means that we're looking at what is adult education really all about for the adults, and how do kids really learn? Do teenagers learn by sitting while you talk to them? Well, no, we know that. They learn by doing and getting engaged and getting involved. You know what? We're finding out adults do the same thing. We're also finding out that our attention spans are much shorter than they used to be. Not just because we're getting older. Those of you who are. But because we live in a different kind of world that moves faster and we have more information to deal with. And I have no idea what time it is, so Michelle, you'll have to help me. Oh, good. Well, you know, so we're looking at how do we do education in this new world. And ideas are coming forward with things like multimedia classes, where part of it's streamed in or on a video or in an MP3, and part of it is a discussion that goes on afterward. We're looking at shorter classes and longer classes and different versions of classes. We're looking at, instead of going and let's study, you know, a long intellectualized version of this, let's look at how does science of mind apply to your relationships. How can we learn together to not bump into that stranger as if they're not part of us, but how to honor each person we come in contact with, and then honor ourselves and grow as a result. We're looking at how to do classes on prosperity that really awaken us to the truth of who we are, so prosperity is not something we have to go get. That's the biggest challenge with prosperity. We think we got to go get it because we got to go get the money. We got to go get the goodies. Just like we've got to go get the love. Well, it's not, none of that's a commodity. None of it's out there. It's all in here to be awakened and freed and let go so that it can flow. So we're doing a lot of dreaming right now in education, and a lot of looking at how do we do this better? How do we do more? How do we bring forth this truth and this knowledge in people? And we're inviting you. You'll hear more about this tomorrow if you're around in the Resource Center. We're inviting more and more people to get in the conversation. Help me do this. One of the things I do in that I love, I've just started doing it, is I run the senior seminar, which is a very fancy word for a once-a-month call with all of the seniors who are graduating from our ministerial program, the School of Spiritual Leadership. And we were talking about the dread exams that are coming up in January. And one of the things that came out of that was one of the students said, you know what? If I understand this teaching right, I'm not being examined on anything I don't already know. So instead of exams, we're going to have celebrations of our knowledge coming up in the spring. I thought, what a smart new student. Yeah. Everything that looks like a challenge is just an opportunity for us to experience and demonstrate what we already know. So our education program is aiming more and more and more to helping us do that, to supporting us in that, and I've got to stop. But let me tell you three things I want to tell you really fast that I'm excited about in terms of where we are in the world. Number one, we are in conversation with folks in Mexico and in South America on how do we develop leadership training programs, ministerial education programs with them, for them, that work to help spread this word in that part of the world. Yeah. We're doing the same thing in the Ukraine, where this teaching is growing like wildfire. And we're training a minister for the Ukraine is a different critter than a minister that would work here or in Canada. So we're really looking at and in conversation with the Ukrainians on how do we do that? What are we going to do to help support them in creating spiritual leaders? Don't even want to call them ministers over there. I'm excited about that. We have opened up the Holmes Institute, which is a master's degree in consciousness studies, to anybody in the world with a bachelor's degree. And we got new students coming in from all over the world who want a master's degree in consciousness studies. We've got them coming from Europe. We've got one now coming from South America. We've got one from Africa already involved, and there are more and more every day. This thing is a growing live wire, and now that the word is out there, what we have to offer, we're going to keep putting it out there, and we're going to keep awakening humanity to its spiritual magnificence. I leave you with Thomas Troward. Thomas Troward, and see, you can't quote Thomas Troward. Thomas Troward, one of the philosophers of our teaching, said very simply, you cannot pull out of a bag what's not already in it. Brilliant metaphysics, right? You cannot draw goodness out unless it was already there. We cannot find the brilliance that there is in the world unless it was already there in every human being. So I invite you to join me in continuing to pull them out of the bag, and let's go forward with greater education and greater options for everyone. Thank you.
Okay.
I just want to, I would just want to say hello to anyone who's live streaming. I just got Reverend Michelle just got a text, so we know that at least someone in New Jersey is listening in, watching. And Dr. Kenn, I heard your request, and I'm going to urge you to change your mind, because that's the mic that has great sound. And since we are recording this for posterity, we want it to be the very best possible quality it can be. And you get a little opportunity, you can relax, because we're going to have, right now, we're going to have one of those New Thought musicians come and sing a song that is absolutely perfect for this Be the Change That You Wish to See in the World, this sunny day.
Hi, beloveds. This is our prayer, a song of peace. We get to be the change we want to see, with open hearts and open hands. We lift our voices, in love we stand. This is our prayer, a song of peace. We get to be the change we want to see, with open hearts and open hands. We lift our voices, in love we stand. Because we can, we get to choose to now reveal a greater truth. One global life in harmony. We are connected. We are free. This is our prayer. A song of peace. Be the change we want to see, with open hearts
Thank you, Sunny. That was beautiful. Thank you, Sunshine and family, and and David and Rick. And we're being seen in Florida as well. Yay! I missed my place here. Okay. So, who we are in the world, we, the ministers of the Centers for Spiritual Living, hold the vision for furthering inspiration in our world. And to speak about furthering that vision, which is absolutely his forte, my dear friend and our spiritual leader of Centers for Spiritual Living, the Reverend Dr. Kenn Gordon.
Got too many glasses. Thank you so much. First off, I just want to thank your center. First off, what a magnificent place, what a magnificent space. And the generosity of this community over the last 4 days has been superlative. It's been fantastic. So I thank each and every one of you who participated in this. And I know later when we give an offering, it will definitely be reflected. Financial, that's important. That's an important thing to do. So who are we in the world? I've been thinking about that for, I don't know, maybe 20 years. And actually, lately, I have been having great adjustments in my thought and what's going on and what I think about it. I know who we are. We are the cutting edge of consciousness in the world today. Not just us, but we are on that cutting edge as we move forward in consciousness. And we have a tendency to believe that somehow or other we should be mainstream. And so what we do is we beat ourselves up for not having 22,000 people in a center. Whereas if we had 22,000 people in the center, we'd probably be mainstream, not the cutting edge. And that leadership is ours to do by leading on that cutting edge, by doing exactly what Dr. John said and what Reverend Bob said, by showing the example and being the model of it, definitely, but also by the activity of what we do and how we do it in the world around us, and how we think about not only our own selves, but how we think about the world around us. And so, you know, we are absolutely a vision-led organization. And our purpose is to awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence, and our vision is to help create a world that works for everyone. And I think that those are very, very fine things to do, but we are also an aspirational teaching. And we've spent a lot of our time in the last little bit working on the intention and maybe perhaps not so much working on who we are. Instead, what we do is we work on the intention and we put it forward. And it's so easy to have the aspiration to create a world that works for everyone. It's so easy to stand up and say, this is what we need to do, this is how we can create it, and that it's relatively easy in our faith to be able to lay it out before us, knowing that when we have a collective consciousness that believes that it's possible, what will happen is it must be drawn and attracted to us and created and made into form. But the part that we seem to be missing a lot of the times is what change do we need to do within ourselves? A lot of the times the questions that come forward, the more difficult ones, is where do we need to change and what do we need to do in order to live to the aspirations and have the action and the activity of our aspiration to be able to create and bring into being, to uncover, to educate that which exists in the world around us and to bring it forward and bring it out. And so, it's really valuable for us to first understand that it has to begin within us, and we have to do it. Every one of us is familiar with the story of Gandhi coming with the little boy, or the mother who brought the little boy to him and said, please tell my son not to eat sugar. He respects you so much. And so Gandhi said, okay, well, come back in 3 weeks and I'll tell him. And so 3 weeks go by, and the little boy comes back into his life, and Gandhi says, don't eat sugar anymore. And the little boy says, okay. And the mother says, so why did it take 3 weeks? And Gandhi said, well, the first thing I needed to do was go home and stop eating sugar. And so we bring forward that same idea and that same ideal in the aspirations of who we want to be, who we want to show up, how we want to show up in the world. And then what we do is we say it, we preach it, we talk about it, but we don't necessarily take the steps in order to put it into activity and put it into action in our lives. That's why we've just recently had this Cultural Integrity Committee that's come together, whose purpose is to make sure that our values, our vision, and our purpose is congruent with who we are. Or I'll put it another way, that we are congruent with our aspirations. To be able to actually build and develop and say, we are the people who can carry this idea forward, this idea of a world without borders, this idea of a world without hunger, this idea a world without war, a world without violence. So that what we can do is we can develop and bring it into activity and bring it into action in the world around us. But we have to be congruent with it before we can do that. Which means that we're called upon to take some rather difficult and painful bites every now and then. We actually need to step forward and recognize who we are. So many people talk about the shadow self or the dark self these days. What we need to do is we need to realize that we can step out of that, but we will never step out of it unless we admit that we have the issue to step out of in the first place. And as leaders in this world, as leaders on the cutting edge of consciousness, to bring it forward, we must do that because the world will not move without us doing it first. And I repeat, I'm not talking about centers for spiritual living. I am talking about those with the consciousness to do it. Who cares about an organization? It's necessary, it's a chalice that we have to develop and collect the collective consciousness, but it is the vision and the purpose that is the driving goal. It is the aspiration that is required. And everything may fall by the wayside. I don't care. I just want a world that works for everyone. And everything else can go away. But this is the key. Is that we lead by making sure that we model our teaching and stop trying to fall back into the mediocrity of life to become the mainstream, so that what we can do is we can fit into the world around us. We were not made to fit into the world around us. We were made to lead the world around us. Dr. Holmes didn't want us to be normal. He wanted us to be on that edge and to move forward on that edge. And we go out there, we have the belief, we have the teaching, we have the training, we have the education system, we have the organization, we have the structure. We have beautiful centers to be able to do it, and we beat ourselves up for not being mainstream enough when what we're doing is we're teaching and we're touching hundreds of millions of people through our teaching, through the fact that all the rest wouldn't be following if we weren't in the outer edge first. Look at the world around us. We are now living in a world that is so different than the ones that we had before. We are living in a world where, in my grandfather's age, technology would double every 100 years. Technology today, movement forward, progress, which is a reflection, as within, so without, of the consciousness of the world itself, now changes what? Every 3 days it doubles? And to a large degree, we're still trying to live back here saying, I don't understand how come there isn't 22,000 people in my church, instead of realizing that we are that teaching that sits on the edge and that we attract according to our consciousness. and that it is our job to move us forward into the world, to collect and garner that consciousness and feed that consciousness to develop it. When we move into that area, what will happen is we will be modeling what we want the rest of the world to do. Until we take that activity, we probably will continue to stagnate. That's how we lead. We lead in the activity of our lives, the activity of our community, and demonstrating and speaking out in the activity of the world around us. This magnificent center, it is a spectacular chalice that has been built for one purpose and one purpose only, and that is to awaken the people who sit in the seats. And the minister who's here, Dr. Heather, does it for one purpose and one purpose only, and that is to awaken herself. And that is the purpose, that is the reason, that is the meaning of our being and putting it out into activity. And we cannot take the information that we have, look at ourselves and say, the outside doesn't look like it's expanding, this doesn't look like it's working, and then expect that we can change it without changing within ourselves. And how many people here are really comfortable with change? There's always 10 of us, of which I am not one. I hate change. But I know that if I don't have it, I don't get anything new. So therefore, I step into it. And it's hard. It's hard. The values assessment we had that came forward that said we had all that entropy, you step into it, I've got to really deal with that. I've got to say, oh my gosh, this is not a healthy way to look at things. But you know, the truth of the matter is it's the answer to the prayer that we put out to the universe a long, long time ago. Please, show us the way. Demonstrate and bring unto us everything that is required that we need to change, that we need to develop, and that we need to grow in order for us to be able to affect the world and create a world that works for all. Demonstrate to us what it is. Show me, and I will move forward with it. And so we bring it forward. We see our answer. It comes to us. And this might be happening in your personal life. I certainly wouldn't put it on you because I know what avatars you are. However, in my personal life, it shows up. It's uncomfortable. I don't like it. It smells. And therefore, I don't want anything to do with it. And I say, get thee behind me. That's not true about me. Well, it is true about us. We need to begin to realize that the aspiration, the intention, and the vision, while it is all important, is absolutely nothing if we're not willing to take the step forward into our lives. From a personal point of view, whether you're online or whether you're here in person, health, wealth, creative expression, loving relationship. If you have an issue in one of those areas, I will share something with you. You need to change your thinking. And I don't say that to be cruel or rude or like Bob Newhart, just stop it. What I mean to say it from the point of view is that it needs a new idea to be birthed and to come forward, and that means a change in the activity and the action that happens. And when we begin to live from the principles that Dr. Holmes espoused and that we believe in, that we say we believe in, the tenets that we hold dear, when we actually become good religious scientists, what will happen is that the world will beat a pathway to our door and that cutting edge will expand and we will go to the next level. And a generation from now, people will be sitting around saying, how come I'm not mainstream? And the reason is you don't get anywhere through the mainstream. You get it on the skinny branches and on the edge. And who we are in the world today is we are on the cutting edge. And what we need to do is we need to bite that big frog and swallow it. Because that big frog is the one that's going to take us to the next level. And behind us, even though they won't even know who we are, will come 7.5 billion people following us like clockwork. Guaranteed. We are the people to do this. We have committed our lives. We have shown up to take the classes. We have done the work. We are the people that are ready to do it. What we need to do is we need to embrace and love ourselves and know that we're in the right place at the right time and doing the right thing. I have always said that I choose to be of the consciousness in my life. Whereas if I step off a curb and twist my ankle, instead of jumping up and down and crying for the pain and wondering how I'm going to get home that day, instead what I simply say is, thank you, God. Because it is all manifest when we do our work, and I will share that I know we have done our work. So now let's accept where we are, and let's grow and move. And God bless you, and thank you for being here. And a prayer.
Wow, thank you, Dr. Kenn. Yeah, wow is right. You know, I would just like, we're just about at the end of our service time, and so if you just be patient. Those of you from our community and from other communities have no idea. We've been here with over 200 ministers. Would the ministers mind standing up so that the non-ministers, the lay people, can see how many? Just look around. Look at all of us. Wow. Wow. What a group. What a blessing each one is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And, of course, we're here. We're just talking about prosperity and abundance, and so if the stewards would come forward, it's time for us to share our gifts. If you're writing a check, write it to the Center for Spiritual Living, Capistrano Valley, or short form, CSLCV. And I would just like to say before we do anything, we're missing, okay. Thank you. Thank you, Fred. When it comes to prosperity, it's all about being willing to do the work, just as Dr. Kenn said. So I invite you right now to ask yourself, are you holding anything against anyone? And in this time, to just let it go. You're made of love. You're here to love. You're here to forgive. I'm here to forgive. We're magnificent spiritual beings. And each one that triggers me is some part of me that I am being called to accept more greatly as beauty, as wholeness, as truth. So if you would just repeat after me now. Divine love within me.
Divine love within me.
Blesses and consecrates.
Blesses and consecrates.
All that I am.
All that I am.
All that I have.
All that I have.
And all that I give.
And all that I give.
I give with love.
I give with love.
And I love to give.
And I love to give.
And so it is.
And so it is.
This is for you, Judy.
The Beatles wrote this song for Judy. It's called Hey Judy. Hey Jude, don't make it bad. Take a sad song and make it better. Remember to let her into your heart. Then you can start to make it better. Hey Jude, don't be afraid. You were made to go out and get her. The minute you let her under your skin, then you begin to make it better. But anytime you feel the pain, hey Jude, refrain. Don't carry the world up on your shoulders. For well you know that it's a fool who plays it cool by making his world a little colder. Na 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 me down. You have found her, now go and get her. Remember to let her into your heart, then you can start to make it better. So let it out, let it in. Hey Jude, begin. You're waiting for someone to perform with. Why don't you know that it's just you? Hey Jude, you're due. The movement you need is on your shoulder. Na 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 na. Hey Jude, don't make it bad. Take a sad song and make it better. Remember to let her under your skin. Then you begin to make it better, 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 better.
I have a logistics question. Are you doing a closing song? Oh, good. Okay. Reverend Michelle wanted to make a few announcements after. So after we're all finished, after we're all finished, if the ministers would, well, I guess everyone needs to be quiet for a bit so that the ministers can hear the announcements, which will be very short. I have asked, Wednesday Wisdom, we sing and imagine? No. Okay. Well, that's what we usually do. Is it going to? Are we going to? You're getting on the cutting edge. Are there going to be lyrics for us?
Yes, the lyrics will
Okay.
be up
So
there,
I'm
Mary.
going to ask our spiritual leader to close us in prayer, and then we will have our closing song.
Thank you, Dr. Heather. Okay. So before we do this, let's just bring ourselves present into this room. Letting go of the past and letting go of the future. We'll just allow ourselves to sit in the present moment where all the power of the universe exists. And so we'll know together this. There is but one power that exists, and that it is manifested in its multiplicity through everything, everyone, every entity, everything we come in contact with. We simply have the faith and the knowledge and knowing without question or hesitation that we create form and we act upon it as it acts upon us. We therefore know that what we think about, what we believe in, how we treat our lives and how we spend ourselves becomes the form of our experience. So recognizing and realizing this is what we know. We know that our lives are dedicated to an idea that is greater and higher than the one that we have right now. and we surrender ourselves to that higher power that is the truth of each and every one of us, knowing that it must be drawn, must be brought into our lives, that it must be attracted to us, and that anything unlike it is dissolved and dissipated, leaving only that truth and that truism in our experience. We therefore recognize and know that our vision of a world that works for everyone is an absolute certainty in our mind and its mind, and that everything that we do forward draws in us, attracts us to that, to bring it into realization and recognition, to take the cloud and the blanket of anything unlike it off of it. Knowing this, we simply dedicate our lives to knowing that from this moment forward, our lives have been changed at depth, and that every occurrence that takes place, no matter how we judge it or perceive it, is an occurrence that's purpose is to awaken and bring us to that realization and that truth. Accepting this as the absolute truth of our experience and our being, we simply give thanks that it's so. And we spend our lives in following, in being drawn, in being attracted to that which is our vision. We let go and we let Spirit have its way through each and every one of us. And we give thanks that it is so, and so it is. God bless you.
Please stand. Join us.
When I find myself in times of trouble, Spirit always comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my hour of darkness, it is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be.
Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be.
And when the broken-hearted people living in the world agree, there will be an answer, let it be. For though they may be parted, there is still a chance that they will see. There will be an answer, let it be.
Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be.
And when the night is cloudy, there is still a light that shines on me. Shine until tomorrow, let it be. I wake up to the sound of music, Spirit always comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be.
Let it be, let it be, let it be, and let it be. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, and let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be.
Reverend Michelle wants to make an announcement, but I would just love to acknowledge our musicians tonight, Sunny Day, Karen Allen, Rick Dale, and Dave Friedman. We are truly blessed.
Oh, what a night, what a night. It was wonderful, wasn't it? Thank you, all of you, our magnificent representatives of this teaching in every good way. So just to give you a little bit of heads up of what's going on tomorrow, at 8:30, our incredible hostesses continue in their generosity by providing refreshments at 8:30 in the morning, and we're going to be in the courtyard again. At 9 o'clock, there will be spiritual practices by one of our new ministers, which is a new thing we started last year, which is inviting individuals to step forward and to be seen, because sometimes you wait a long time to be seen. We want you to know that Sunny Day has her CDs available for sale in the lobby on your way out. Tomorrow, after the spiritual practices at 10 a.m., we have a variety of workshops that will appeal to some of you more than others, but there's a large variety of them, and Sunshine is setting that all up tomorrow. But we will also have a resource room. So in the letter you received, you were invited to bring forth books, information about programs, maybe journeys that you're going on. So the resource room will be there tomorrow, and you'll be able to meander through all of that. And some people are leaving tomorrow morning early. Who's leaving? So we love you. Remember to take your things off the altar. I saw Reverend Patrick Harbula remember. So if you have something on the altar, don't leave it here. Before I saw the empty cups, and I thought somebody left their trash on. I forgot. I'm like, oh no, that's part of the altar. It's like, right. I know. I caught myself before I did anything. But also, if you were in the workshop for spiritual entrepreneurs, we made a decision to start a Google group that was devoted to spiritual entrepreneurs. There is a sign-up list for that. Elizabeth, did we get that? Did we get it going? Beautiful. So the sign-up list is out there. We're going to create this Google group for those of you who want to create masterminds and support each other and say, yeah, you go for it. We're going to do that in that particular Google group. And I think I covered it. I do. I love you all. What? 3 o'clock is our closing ceremony. Yes, there was supposed to be a basket outside. Okay, let's do this properly. Not as a missing thought. For the past 2 years, the Ministers' Council has brought to you the best program that we possibly could with no fee attached. So now we are looking for you to dig deep into your appreciation and to show us that we all collectively understand how we allow prosperity to move through us and to inspire the council to continue to do its work. We will be tithing off of that money. We spoke before that we will make sure we tithe off of that money. But we ask you to please share. And there should be a basket. If it's not there now, it's there now. There's a basket in the hall. And we, with great love, accept all of your offerings. And may it go forth to multiply and continue to bring you greater programming. And remember, next year in Mexico, we're going to have fun. It's going to be a good time. Budget it now, okay? We're going to have a good time. So much love to you all. I think that's it. Yes? We did good? I love you. Have a good night.